All right, I am back with Nate, Boys Inc. podcast episode something I forgot to check. It's like roughly 39, I think. Let me see. The last episode was.
Check in a while.
Oh shit, we're on 40. All right, dope.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, all right, we're on. All right, we're on episode 40. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit. That'll make sure this is all working right. Oh, I forgot to switch my overlay. I'm getting all kinds of fucked up right now, man. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, hopefully this is working. But anyway, yeah, I've got a bunch of shit to talk about because it's been forever. So let's start with some funny news because I feel like it might get a little bit heavy, but let's start with some funny shit. So this I didn't even write down because I saw it like 10 minutes before we started recording and it was really funny. So I don't know how knowledgeable you are on South Sudan.
Not very.
Okay, so apparently they have like a president or something, right? There was
Right.
like some parade that was happening, and the president literally just like pissed his pants while he was just like standing there. Like he
Oh,
was just standing there, and you could like see it dripping down his leg. It was really funny.
for fun?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just funny because it was like he's just standing there. Like there's video of it happening, and then they were trying to explain why it happened, and dude, they gave a great answer. It really makes me wish we had a leader like him in America. They said he pissed his
Well,
pants due to his sheer patriotism. He was just,
I'm pretty sure our leader is pissing his pants.
but not through patriotism. It's not because he's
That's
patriotic.
true.
It's
That is true.
just like he forgot. I don't know. Like
If ours is pissing his pants, it's probably like some weird sex thing.
that's true. Yeah.
Or the Alzheimer's.
That I mean, why not both, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking. He's just standing there and he just pisses himself, and he was like, "It's because I'm just too much of a goddamn patriot."
You gotta show your pride somehow.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. So I thought that was pretty fucking funny. And it was interesting because I was just scrolling on YouTube when I found it. And dude, you're not going to believe who it was that had uploaded a video of it. It was fucking Lord Miles Rutledge.
That actually was my first guess as soon as you said
Yeah.
who uploaded it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And you know what? It was cool because he started uploading a lot more. And his videos are like pretty interesting. And because of that, I found out that comment that we got a while ago on our episode with him in the thumbnail, that was actually him that commented on it.
He commented on one of our videos?
Yes. Yes, there
Fuck.
was an episode a while ago, like earlier this year, with him in the thumbnail where it was like, it was when he was in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Right.
Or I think was it Afghanistan? I don't know. He was in Kabul. And it was like when the U.S. military was pulling out and everything was going crazy. And like after I uploaded it, I got a comment from an account called Lord Miles Rutledge, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." I don't know if that's the real guy though, because you know it's the internet. You can just lie about that. And when I checked the channel back then, there wasn't a whole lot on it, but he started uploading a lot, and it's the same account. So that was pretty cool. All right, so do you think we should talk about some extra like just weird shit that I saw on TikTok? Kanye West slash Balenciaga or FTX. I want to talk about all of them, but I'll let you pick the order.
I mean, we gotta touch on Kanye.
That's true. Dude, someone has to. God damn. I know
Yeah.
everyone's. I mean, that's really the problem.
Uncharted territory.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? I think that's his problem, to be honest, is his fucking wife left him. I think there's a direct line between his wife leaving him and him going crazy. Because, like, he was still not mentally all there before, but at least he was, like, stable, sorta.
Yeah.
Like he had, like he was a responsible adult, I would assume. Like he had a house and he was paying for it. And now it's like, I don't know. So it was funny. I watched his whole appearance on Alex Jones, which was fucking hilarious because that is such a ridiculous interview. Like, I've never really sat down and watched Alex Jones before, but I was watching these people stream the interview and, like, comment on it. And holy shit, it was so funny. I think Alex Jones honestly should make Kanye a permanent guest because it makes Alex Jones look downright reasonable.
Really? It was that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. The whole time Kanye is talking about crazy shit, and Alex Jones is like, "Sorry, I don't agree though." And he's like, he keeps trying to give
What?
him an out, and he keeps not taking it. So like, Kanye is saying that he loves Nazis and he loves Hitler and everything. And then Alex Jones trying to like save Kanye tries to throw him like a life preserver and is like, "Oh, you just mean like you like, the Hugo Boss outfits that the Nazi had, right? Like you just think that like they were snappy dressers. Like cuz you design like fashion stuff, right? Maybe
Yeah.
that's what you mean when you say you love them." And he goes, "No, I like them as people."
Communists are known for their fashion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fascists are known. Yeah. Listen, the Nazi uniforms were good looking.
Sure.
The Nazis were still scumbags, though. I'm with Alex Jones on this one. But yeah, he's like, no, you just like their outfits, right? And Kanye's like, no, that's not what I mean. Like
I've seen a
Kanye,
few clips. I haven't seen the whole thing.
yeah, Kanye is drowning, and Alex Jones throws him a life preserver, and he goes, "Get that shit out of here! I don't want that." Like there are multiple times during the interview where Alex Jones is like, "That's just fucking crazy." Like you can tell he's
Yeah.
trying to not be like, "Are you just an idiot? What's wrong with you?" Like it's so weird because he's like, "No, I think that Hitler was like not that bad a guy," and Alex Jones is like, yeah, I have to disagree with that. I can't agree with you on that." And I'm like, wow, he looks pretty good coming out of this. I never expected to watch Alex Jones and be like, that was reasonable from him. That's why I think he should make him just a permanent fixture on the show. Just like this is the Kanye corner, where he just has Kanye West say completely asinine shit, and then Alex Jones can be like, well, I don't agree. I think you're wrong. And then it makes Alex Jones look better by proxy. I think that would be an interesting direction to take a show. I think we should have someone like that. I just need to go find like some homeless dude and pay him like $20 to come on and just say the most ridiculous shit. And then I can be like, "No, don't." And then I rake in all of the views. I rake in all of the views and the clout for being such a good person on the internet. Cuz that's at the end of the day, that's what the internet is for telling other people that you're better than them.
Exactly.
Speaking of, I want to get back to Kanye, but this was the thing that I thought was funny. I was scrolling TikTok one day and I saw a video where they were talking about some hashtag that had been going around the car community. Now, I'm not big into the TikTok car community, as many of you probably would have guessed, but it was called hashtag cancel Coda, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck any of that means. So I was watching this guy's video and he was explaining like he was cutting no like he was pulling no punches. He was saying like that this Coda person that I had never heard of was like a total scumbag. Like she's the worst. He was saying it like what she did was absolutely atrocious. So I was like, "Damn, dude, that sucks. I got to find out what happened." And this guy was saying that she was being like ableist or something, right? And I was like, "Damn, from how harsh he was being and how it looked like this was like the end of her career, like she got fired from her job and everyone like unfollowed her or whatever." I was like, "Damn, to have been that ableist, you must have like kicked some guy out of his wheelchair and then spit on him. Like there's no way, right? Like you would have to just be cartoonishly evil to have been that ableist." And I find out what she did was she was arguing with some other woman, which I don't know any of the context. So if I'm butchering the story, we'll do whatever. I don't care. But like, she's arguing with some other woman in DMs or something, and she decides to make fun of this woman's husband, boyfriend, friend. I can't tell. Everyone tells the story differently. Some people say like, yeah, it's his husband right there, and then others are like, no, they're just friends. They've never been a thing. So I don't know. But the guy in question has scoliosis, and she said that his spine was, quote, retarded.
What?
And that was like the problem. Like that was like everyone needs to freak out and go cancel this bitch, get her fired from her job. She said a guy with scoliosis has a retarded spine.
God, dude.
It's so funny. And if you go look at all of the posts people did with the hashtag, it's like they're acting like she was like the second coming of Hitler. Well, actually, the third coming. It was first time it was Hitler, second time it was Kanye, third time it was Coda.
So what the fuck is she though? Like, what was she before all this?
I guess she made videos about cars on TikTok.
Okay.
Like she was a she every. The problem is I can't even find her account at this point. But like, I guess she made car content. I don't know. I don't know shit about cars, so I don't know. I don't know what that's like. I just saw the hashtag at one point. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is, and it was fucking stupid. So I was like,
It's crazy that like this is the world we live in where like there's all right, so just compare her and Kanye for a second, right? Like
yeah,
because there's so many cases like this of people just overreacting, I didn't follow the Kanye case at first, and I just assumed it was like that.
yeah, yeah,
Because everybody
exactly.
always does this shit, right? You hear this like every fucking day.
Yeah,
So I know a while back there was something between him and Trump, and I was like, oh, people just don't like him because, you know, the Trump shit or whatever. But then my roommate's like, no, trust me, it's more than that. And my roommate, he's a real reasonable guy, so I was like, all right, I trust you. So I looked into it, and I found a bunch of clips from like the Alex Jones thing that everybody was
yeah.
posting. It's like, okay. I was like, so it's not just that he's conservative,
No, not at all.
right?
It's that he's
No,
on
it's
Alex Jones being
a
like,
bit more,
I think that
yeah,
Hitler could contribute a lot to society. It's like, no,
right.
you can't be saying that, dude. You can't be saying
But
that.
because of all this shit with like similar cases like this Coda person or whatever, I was so quick to assume that like it was fucking nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because that was the thing was like looking for information on it. Everyone was reacting like this was the worst thing that they had ever witnessed, and I was like, that's like okay, it was kind of funny, but not funny enough to be like, listen, she was just joking. Like, that would immediately be my response is like, oh, she's joking. But it was like, it was funny. Like, I chuckled when I read it, but I was like, all right, well, maybe don't be like saying that to random people. But like, at the end of the
Oh
day,
shit, I didn't know that.
should you be fired from your job because you called a guy with scoliosis, like retarded spine? Probably not. Especially because you didn't do it at work. It's not like she was. At least I don't think so. I don't know what her job was, but I don't know. And dude, the way this guy was explaining it, it was so funny because he was like, "Can you believe that she was making fun of someone based on the way that they were born?" I was like, "That's the kind of the funniest
Yes,
shit you can say about people is the way that they're born, though. Like,
yes, I can believe that.
if you really want to hurt someone's feelings, the way you do it is by bullying them about something that they can't control that they were born with. Because like, there's nothing they can do about it, right? Like, if you make fun of someone for like." They got like a bad haircut or whatever. It's like, well, you can just fix that. Like, oh, I mean, that's not the end of the world. Like, that's super changeable. But if it's like, yeah, you're just gonna be fucked up like that for life, it's funny. It can be cruel too. Don't get me wrong. But like,
You want to piss somebody off if that's your goal. I mean,
exactly. I
yeah,
think we should be giving her only a few points just for like being efficient at least. Right?
yeah.
Like the way to take listen, if a guy
Like,
has scoliosis, the way to take him down is by the spine, okay? Let's be honest.
mhm.
That's the
And
way.
the other thing you got to keep in mind is that like when you're trying to insult somebody, like maybe she was really pissed off at this guy and she's just trying to insult him, whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you do that, right, you're always gonna want to cut deep and look for like the weak point, whatever. That doesn't always mean you truly believe that,
Yeah.
right? Like I knew this guy. I won't name names or name the area I'm from or anything, even though I probably have on the show at some point.
Yeah.
But
I'm good
there's this
about
dude
names,
at my college,
I'm
right?
good about
And
blurring names, but not locations.
okay, all right. So there's this dude at my college, and he's just like I'm not a very politically charged person. I just get tired of like hearing all the shit mostly. And dude was like really, really, really far left, like insanely far.
Okay.
And he would always talk shit about like just like, oh, I'm a dangerous nationalist and all this shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. The only information I ever gave him was that I don't consider myself to be uh, like aligned with the Democratic Party and their views.
Okay, then, yeah,
I
that,
was
that
like, I'm not
sounds.
even gonna say I'm conservative. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
exactly.
I'm dead moderate. I'm not very politically charged, but like, I will say I'm not where you are, right? And he like hated that for some reason. And the one thing he always got pissed about was like, you know, everybody compares socialism and communism. And he's like, I'm a socialist, and it's not the same thing as communism. People are just so fucking stupid they don't understand it, right?
Yeah,
So I never touched that one, right?
yeah,
But one night, I got real fucking mad at him and real fucking tired of his shit. And I was just like, don't you ever contact me again, you commie fuck. And I blocked him, and I never reached out again. And like, of course,
nice.
I don't believe that. Like, I'm not a politically charged person. I just knew that would piss him the fuck off.
Yeah, well, yeah, he told you this is
Right.
my weak
He
spot.
gave me his weak point. Of course, I'm going to use
It's
it.
yeah. He's like, I'm a socialist and I hate communists, and you're like, I will burn you with this later.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
feel
funny.
like people forget how insults work and what they were made for. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it,
Like no one.
sometimes you're supposed to be offended.
Yeah, exactly. Being offended
Like, I
isn't
was
the
mad
end
at
of
the
the
guy because he
world.
did
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Being offended isn't the end of the world. It's like, well, then just make fun of that person back, right? Like, if
Exactly.
this person
He
says your
couldn't come
spine is
back.
retarded, make fun of her car or whatever. I don't
Fight
know.
back.
I don't know what the fuck works in the car community. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can shit on each
I'm
other
not a
for
car guy.
exactly. They can shit on each other for having funny cars or whatever. I don't know. Or like figure out something she's insecure about and be like, yeah, fuck you. I don't know. It was. I'm gonna have to send you the video of the guy explaining it because it's so fucking funny. The way he's just like blowing it way out of proportion, considering that's like all she did, right? Like if that was just like one thing, you'd be like, okay, but what else happened?
Exactly.
And then they like show the screenshot, and I'm like, that's it. And it was like in the middle of like an argument too. Like there are like both people are already kind of insulting each other anyway. They're doing
It's
that
just
like
emptied out.
yeah, well yeah, they were doing like the back and forth sort
You're
of
fighting.
passive
It's two
aggressive.
people fighting. It's not like abuse.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the like classic two women passive aggressively shitting on each other kind of way, where it's like they're both trying to pretend like they're not seething and crying mad behind the screen, but like it's clearly not like it's rough. And then she
I
just
gotta
like
say though,
yeah.
I do definitely fight in that aggressive women style.
I know. Well, here's the thing.
That's my go-to choice.
Here's the thing. Maybe, but I've never seen it as bad as that though. I was like, that is the most
Okay.
fucking passive aggressive shit ever. Where it's like, I don't know. I'll send you screenshots. Anyone can go look those up if they want. It's
Yeah, I'm not
you
even
just
gonna lie. I'm petty as fuck. But
yeah, you just go on TikTok and go hashtag cancel Coda spelled KOTA. I don't know. That was really
oh,
fucking funny. So oh hold on one sec. What's up? Do you have to kill Parthenax? No. Okay. Cool. Sweet. All right. Sorry, my brother came in and asked me something. All right. So back to Kanye, right? So the thing that I think is funny with Kanye is he kept like, as soon as this story came out, I found that I was actually getting ahead of it quicker than a lot of these stand-up comedians I follow. Because I would be like, oh, that's funny. And then I would see them do a joke about that thing that I thought. I'm like, damn it, I should have posted that. Because now it's like, if I do say it, it's going to look like I'm stealing their joke, even though like I thought of it before I saw them post it. So like, the bit in the first couple days was like, it was when he had said it was after he had tweeted that he was going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And then his bank like closed his account or whatever. And then he got like banned from I think Twitter or something. And it was like basically the joke after that was people went Kanye said that Jewish people control the banks and they closed his bank account, and then he said they control social media and they banned him. So it was like the bit was like, oh wow, could we be a little less obvious about this, guys? But then Kanye was explaining the context of what happened because he's been doing this like press tour and he's been going on a bunch of different podcasts and shit, and I've been watching them. And like that joke doesn't even make sense now that he's explained it more. So like for instance, the thing with the banks, he was saying that before the tweet went out, he had been doing some sort of collaboration thing with some, I think it was like Adidas. I think it was like Adidas was making Yeezys or whatever. I don't fucking remember. This is like 2-3 weeks ago now at this point. But he was basically collabing with like Adidas or something. And they wanted him, like they wanted to do marketing for whatever thing they were doing, and they decided to give him the money. He was like, listen, I'll do the marketing, just create an account with the marketing budget and I'll take care of it. And they were like, okay. So there's this account that's like, $200 million or whatever in it. I don't remember exactly how much money, but it was like an obscene amount of money in this account. So Kanye, prior to this, put a bunch of money in a bank. I don't remember the exact amount again, but he put a bunch of money in a bank hoping that he could talk to the like CEO of the bank. But it's like this bank gets like billions of dollars and Kanye didn't put in enough to really like phase this guy, and also that's not how you get a meeting with a guy that owns a bank, I would assume. So then he took all of the money back out of the account because he was like salty, and then they closed the account, and that was what he said was like him getting debanked. It was like they didn't just like forcibly tell him no more banking. It was like, hey, you took all your money out, we're gonna close your account now because it has $0 in it. And that was apparently, based on what he said, that's what happened. So then all of his money is like somewhere else, I guess. And the thing with Adidas was he had like hooked his phone's personal like Apple Pay account up to the marketing account for the shoe company or whatever, and he's like, they find out about it and they're like not happy about it, and then he starts tweeting about Jews, and they said, okay, we're done with it. No, let's not do this. We assumed you were gonna like spend the money on marketing the shoes, not just saying that you hate Jewish people. So I think they got rid of that, and then he had gotten banned for some other reason. I don't remember. It was probably saying that like Hitler wasn't that bad. I assume that's bannable.
Yeah.
So it's just funny that everyone's like, oh, haha, because Kanye said the Jews control the banks, and then suddenly he gets debanked. It's like, no, he didn't even get debanked. He fucking pulled all his money out of the bank. He pulled all his money out of the bank and ruined his deal with Adidas, and then they closed his accounts because there was no money in them. Like, that's what a bank does when you don't have any money in your account. They just close your account. Because why would they keep it open with $0?
Because he's Kanye. They need clout.
Yeah, exactly. No, not because he's Kanye. It's because he's Ye.
It's like they start this whole fucking advertising campaign, right before all that shit happens.
Yeah.
Like, we're the official leg of Kanye. The next fucking day it goes on Alex Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Adidas was like, I think it was Adidas, was like,
Shit.
Kanye, we're going to do, this is going to be the collab of the century. It's going to be Adidas and Ye West, because he says he changed his name to Ye instead of Kanye, which I'm not going to say that.
The next day they're like, who the fuck is Kanye?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
never heard of him.
Yeah. They're like, okay, so we have like millions of dollars to put towards the marketing. What should we do? And Kanye was like, I'll take care of it. Just give me the money. And they're like, okay. I mean, normally we wouldn't do this, but you're Kanye West, so okay, let's do it. And then immediately, like a day or two after, he's like, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It doesn't actually mean anything because he said it was a typo. He was supposed to say DEFCON, like DEF, but he spelled it DEATH, like DEFCON.
What's DEFCON? I still don't know what that means.
DEFCON is like when you your country is on alert, right? So like it's basically the level of on guard that your country is, right? So like during the Cold War, the U.S. would declare what DEFCON they were at in terms of like how worried they were about. So like mid like Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever, it's like at the highest, which is actually a lower number. I think the lower DEF CON you get to, the worse it is. So saying DEF CON 3 is like, wait, so you're only medium worried about them? Like, that's kind of weird. I don't know. So that was funny because I think Alex Jones was the only person that Kanye, like, didn't get very upset at because he didn't really push back, which was interesting. So, like, Kanye had been on two other podcasts like a week or two before Alex Jones, and I think both of them he either walked off or was very pissed off at the host by the end because they wouldn't just like let him say shit about Jewish people. So like the first one I saw was he went on Tim Pool's podcast and like within like 20 minutes he got up and walked off because the host was like, "Yeah, I think they've treated you very badly." And he went, "Who is they?" And he was like, "The mainstream media. I think the way the media has been reporting it is bad." And then later Kanye is like, "Oh yeah, well I think that they." And then the host is like, "Who is they? Do you mean the media?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, well who do you mean?" And that like pissed him off and he just got up and left. He was like, he was like, "If you're not going to just let me, if you're not just going to assume that Jewish people are all trying to ruin my life, I'm not going to be on your show." And then I think he did another interview with Lex Friedman, and then I think he also did a similar thing where he was like, "Okay, but you need to say who they is, and then if it's like it might be there are individuals who are trying to ruin your life. If it's like, oh, this is the person that's trying to fuck you over, you can say that, but you can't just be like, all Jewish people are trying to kill me." Like, you can't say that. And then he lands on Alex Jones, and the best pushback Alex Jones can give is, "Well, I don't like the Nazis."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I
It's just
mean,
playing the defense game at that point.
yeah, it's like, well, I mean, Alex Jones, I don't think less of him because of it, but like, kind of a bad look for Kanye, especially because Kanye, it's even, it's even weirder because he keeps trying to like divert, I guess. He did this total like whataboutism in the middle of the show where he came to the show wearing this weird outfit where he had this huge like puffer jacket on and a like all black like gimp mask basically. Well, so if you've seen pictures of that guy with a fucking like basically a balaclava but with no eye or mouth holes and a giant puffer jacket, that's Kanye on Alex Jones. He came dressed in that and he kept the mask on the whole interview for some reason. And it was so weird because the mask was apparently made by Balenciaga. And Balenciaga is in the news right now for all of their ads being like, well, not all of their ads, but a few of their more recent ads apparently being like pedo bait. So now
Oh,
they've had to like delete their entire like Instagram account and like they've issued apologies and they're suing the people that did the ad. Like, and then that gets brought up because that was sort of running parallel to this whole Kanye thing that was going on at the same time. And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, your ex-wife Kim Kardashian said that like, ew, Balenciaga is all pedophiles. Ew, that's bad. What do you have to say about it, Kanye?" And Kanye's like, "Who cares? We're still aborting children, so who cares?" And it's like, what? The fuck does that mean? Like, okay, it's not really the. It does not answer the question at all, especially because you came wearing Balenciaga. It's super weird.
still aborting kids, so who cares about pedophiles?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was gonna. It was
Okay.
really weird because I was keeping a running list of things I wanted to talk about, and then they all sort of merged into this one thing when he went on Alex Jones. Because I was gonna talk about him before that, and then I also had a Balenciaga bit planned, but then I saw him go on Alex Jones, and I was watching it just captivated because it was kind of insane just to see it. Like, we live in the most ridiculous timeline, and then they all became like the same story all at once. I've never seen anything like it. The Balenciaga thing was weird too, so I was going over that and it was like they're all getting fucking dogpiled for it because they put out some weird as fuck ads where it's like a kid holding this teddy bear, but the teddy bear has on like BDSM clothing and shit. Like it's weird.
Dude,
It's super weird. But like,
fuck.
here's the thing. That's not even the weirdest part. That was like what got people's antenna up for it, where they're like, wait a minute, hold on, what the fuck? This is kind of strange. They'll like nail in the coffin one, because with that one you can be like, oh, that, I mean, they're just being edgy. Like, nah, whatever,
Yeah.
that's fine. There's another ad where they were showing like a leather like purse, like a leather handbag or something, and it's on a table, and the table has a bunch of papers like scattered all over it. And there's only one paper where you can read any text. Like, I guess all of the other ones are face down, but this one is face up. And if you zoom in, you can read what's on the paper. And the paper is a printout of a Supreme Court decision where they decided that you're allowed to have, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it because I think YouTube will flag it. You're allowed to have CP as long as it is fake. So like, they're like, okay, so long as no kid was actually involved in the making of this material, then it's technically not illegal.
Animated? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, basically they're saying like if you drew it, if an adult drew it and they didn't have like a reference picture, they just drew it, like, then it's
that
okay.
is
And
real?
that was the piece of paper. It was the Supreme Court saying that's legal. That's what was on the paper in the ad.
Jesus Christ.
Like, what? Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Why? What?
Awful.
Yeah, so then Balenciaga was like, "No, wait, we didn't put that there. We had some photographer or whatever. Now we're suing him because we say that he put it there."
Jesus.
So yeah, that's why everyone has been getting pissed off at Balenciaga now. Let's see, what else have I got? Oh, fucking FTX. Oh my god, FTX is another big thing. I can't wait to see how FTX ties into whatever I was just talking about in like another week. It'll just take like a week or two. Fucking SBF is gonna come out and be like, yeah, me and Kanye actually established my financial strategy together. So, do you know anything about the FTX situation?
No, I don't know
Okay,
what that is.
okay, so FTX was in the past tense a cryptocurrency exchange. So it's basically like a bank but for cryptocurrency. So basically the guy that opened it, his name is Sam Bankman-Fried. So people just abbreviate his name to SBF. So if you've been seeing headlines that say SBF, that's who they're talking about. They're talking about this kid. Basically back in the day, a couple like maybe a decade or less ago, when crypto was still like very very fringe, he made a bunch of money trading crypto because he found some sort of weird loophole where if you buy it in Japan using yen and then sell it using US dollars, you actually make more money. Like it was something about the conversion rate of Bitcoin and like US dollars and yen or something that made it more valuable to do it like that. So he made like millions of dollars just selling Bitcoin back to people, but with just a different currency. So then apparently he decides because cryptocurrency is becoming more popular, he's only able to find opportunities like the one he did because basically none of the actual big like hedge fund investors or none of the pro investors that have been doing it for a while that really specialize in fucking people out of their money have adopted cryptocurrency. Like they're all still trading stocks on Wall Street and shit. Like the people that are really good at it. So he's like, well, eventually crypto is going to get popular enough that they're going to come to it. Once, it becomes like mainstream enough and once it becomes valuable enough and secure enough that, all of the big money investors get in, then it will be impossible for random people to just make big chunks of money using cryptocurrency like that. So he wanted to get ahead of that. And the strategy he decided was instead of trading crypto just like as an investor, he was going to be crypto's own Wall Street. Like he was going to be the exchange. So all of the big investors would have to come to him, basically. So he sets up his company FTX, and it functions similar to a bank. So basically, you put your money in, and then they keep some of it, like they keep like some percentage of it, and then invest the rest, which is like the same as most other banks in like traditional money do it. And usually when banks do it, they're pretty safe about it. Like they'll invest your money in like stuff that is pretty good at holding its value, right? So like a lot of the time it's like real estate, or they'll distribute it a bunch of like among a bunch of different stocks, whatever. So it technically usually makes money. That is not what FTX decided to do. FTX decided they were going to take all of the customers' money and then buy their own cryptocurrency, their FTX's own coin that it created called FTT token or FT token, and then replace all of the money with their bullshit cryptocurrency that they made up, and then take all of the money and funnel it to a bunch of different places. So one of them is like a different investment thing that SBF had made called Alameda Research, that like his ex-girlfriend or something was running, and she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about with crypto. So she of course loses all that money, and no one knows this for a while. So FTX starts making a bunch of money, but the problem is it's basically a huge Ponzi scheme, because they're taking the money and then just disappearing it somewhere else and replacing it with other bullshit money, and if you ask for your money back, they'll give you it back. But eventually it's unsustainable and tons of people are going to get burned. So it all comes crashing down because I think it was the CEO of a different crypto company called Binance basically realizes, wait a minute, FTX, their entire vault is just filled with their own bullshit cryptocurrency. Like, they don't actually have any money. If everyone goes and asks for their money back at once, they're not going to be able to pay everyone, because they're going to have to sell all the cryptocurrency to get money, and then that will ruin the value of the token that they've been issuing. Because the supply just went way up because they're selling all of it, basically the entire supply of it. So he just yanks all of his money out immediately. And then suddenly everyone else wants to, but then of course they run out of money. And then the whole company is just fucked, and now everyone that was investing in it is just, I mean, probably out of money, including fucking Tom Brady. Apparently Tom Brady got absolutely fucked on FTX, which, I mean, warmed my heart a little bit because I don't like Tom Brady. That one felt good. People have been praying for Tom Brady's downfall for so long, and it just started coming all at once. People were like, he's won 7 Super Bowls. Surely at some point he's got to get fucked over, right? And then he finally did. His wife fucking left him, and then he lost all his money on FTX.
Jesus,
this dude is going to have to be playing football for another, like, 10 seasons to make up the money he lost, probably. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much he lost, but it apparently was not good for him. What were you going to say?
What?
What were you going to say?
No, I don't know anything about that story.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So basically people are saying, like...
This is all new.
Yeah, basically people are saying this is going to be the biggest scam, basically, in history. Like, it's bigger than Bernie Madoff. It's bigger than fucking whatever. It's basically Enron. It's the Zoomers version of Enron.
Jesus.
And interestingly enough, it's so similar to Enron. They basically needed a bunch of people to come in, because now they're starting to get charged like criminally for this, because all of the shit was super illegal.
Right.
They brought in the guy that liquidated Enron to liquidate FTX. It's the same guy.
Okay.
So, I think his name is John J. Ray. He was the guy they brought in basically when Enron evaporated to get as many people their money back as they can. They brought him in to do it again with FTX. It's the same fucking guy.
Jesus.
So, the most breaking news is Sam Bankman-Fried. He had been going on a bunch of podcasts, going on this press tour, basically trying to apologize, because he keeps trying to say that he didn't know what he was doing was illegal, even though it's like textbook Ponzi scheme. And it was funny because his lawyers told him as soon as this happened, he went on Twitter and tweeted like, "Oh yeah, I fucked up. That was my fault. I'm sorry." And then his lawyers were like, "Do not apologize. That basically looks like you're admitting fault." And he said, "Fuck you. I'll do what I want."
Okay.
which is usually a good sign. If your lawyers say don't do this, it looks bad for you, and then you go, I'm going to do it anyway. That's usually a good sign, I would say.
Okay.
It's not a good sign for him.
Right.
It's bad. So then he goes on this press tour basically saying, like, oh, I didn't know that it was a Ponzi scheme. I'm sorry, guys. And it's like, you realize, like, you just fucked over millions of people. Like, you cost, like, I mean, that was billions of dollars that you fucking wasted for this to go belly up for you. Like, this is ridiculous. They finally arrested him in the Bahamas because he lived in this crazy mansion in the Bahamas because he was a fucking billionaire and now he's worth like nothing. And right now they are working on getting him extradited to the U.S. So that'll be really fucking interesting because there's a lot of levels to this. The first one is really funny because he sort of got a bunch of money from investors by preying on the fact that they're boomers. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about with crypto, and he can just sort of say the buzzwords. So I found this funny article detailing one of the banks he went to get a loan for this, like to get investments. And this bank was apparently, I'm not super into finance, but basically they're known as like being very fucking shrewd about what they invest in. Like they're like some of the best in the world right now. I think it's called Sierra Holdings. And they were saying the meeting was like, he was explaining his plans for FTX, and he was saying it's going to be, this one app that you can handle all of your money transactions with. You can trade crypto, you can trade stocks, you can buy shit in real life with it. That was the plan. I think the direct quote is he was like, you can trade stocks or crypto and you can buy a banana with it. And all of the investors were like shitting their pants at this idea. They like loved it. They're like, wow, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard. This guy, we gotta give him the money. And like one of the employees that Sam was with at the time, like came up to him after the meeting and was like, wow, man, you really killed it. They loved it. And they walked up to his computer and they saw that he was playing League of Legends through the entire fucking meeting.
Jesus.
He was not even really paying attention. He was like half just bullshit making things up while concentrating on a video game while in a meeting with the fucking baddest investors ever. Like these guys are like the hardest to convince, and he convinced them no problem while not really paying attention. Dude, you could go talk to these investors and just scam them out of any amount of money so long as you just pretend like you know what you're talking about and it's computer related. Because they have no idea what the fuck any of this computer shit is. Because they gave him like huge investments after that. Yeah, so that was a really funny layer. But then there's like kind of a darker layer to this where a lot of the money he was funneling away from FTX went to a bunch of different places. So like for instance, one of them was Alameda Research, was his other company that he runs, which I think just basically wasted all of it with bullshit investments and research. He bought like I think I don't remember which sports team, but he bought some like stadium, like some sort of sports arena, and named it like FTX Stadium or something. And now he's gonna have to sell that. And it was funny because it looked like some like porn company was thinking about buying it instead, so it was gonna go from like FTX Arena to like Bang Bros Stadium or something. Like it was like that bad level of like your stadium is down so bad. But one of the other things he decided to funnel this money toward was politics. Yay, politics. He decided to donate a bunch of it above table. Well, not really above table, but he decided to donate a bunch of it to the DNC. A bunch of it got funneled there. But then also he said he was also funneling a bunch of it to the RNC.
Wait,
So,
what?
towards the RNC.
Uh,
So he was giving it. I think he gave like $60 million to the Democrats, and then like you can check. I think there's at least paperwork for 20 million or something going to Republicans, but I think he said that he gave them basically the same amount. It's just the Republicans did a better job of hiding it. So I think they both got roughly 60 million. That's what it seems like. I mean, if you trust him, which I mean, you probably shouldn't, so I don't know how much. But I mean, it doesn't look good for him if he's being arrested in a foreign country and being extradited back to the United States, and he he's been funneling money to both sides. So I think this goes one of two ways. Either both sides like him, so they pull strings to have him found not guilty, but that's not likely because, you know, the biggest scam in history, bigger than Bernie Madoff at this point. Or they kill him in jail.
Jesus.
Because, you know, he sort of has dirt on both of them if they've both been accepting these bribes, right? Like if both sides can agree on this one, he has dirt on both of them. I don't know. I don't think Sam Bankman-Fried is suicidal. That's all I'm saying.
Another, another Clinton-style suicide, or
Yeah. I'm thinking he might commit suicide in his jail cell with 2 bullets in the back of his head.
okay.
Like, I think he might. There's a chance he gets Epstein. I don't think it's as likely with Epstein because Epstein was really fucking bad. It was like, oh yeah, I mean everyone's basically a pedophile. Like that's what it could have been. Like they sort of had to bottle that up, but like with this, it's like, did you know that politicians have been taking dirty money? I kind of did know that actually. Yeah, like I didn't know how much, but I assume it's a lot. I'm not really surprised to find out that both sides have been accepting money from this guy that was scamming people out of their money. It's not that weird. So that's gonna be interesting to watch because I mean I hope he doesn't get fucking murdered. I didn't lose any money on it, so I don't hate him. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. And then you know a bunch of other crypto like ripple effects have happened. So it's like other companies are now hurting really bad because now no one trusts crypto because it turns out a bunch of other companies have been doing a similar thing but to a smaller degree, where they just keep trading the money that they're supposed to be holding for people with their own cryptocurrency.
Jeez.
So that's what I mean when I'm saying like FTX is big enough now that I feel like if it mixed with the Kanye thing, that would be full circle.
Yeah,
Like that
if it
would really,
expands far enough.
yeah, that would really do it. Like Sam Bankman-Fried comes out and he's like, "Listen, guys, it's not my fault. Kanye was my financial advisor. He said this would all be fine."
Wait, it's Saturday for
Like, oh, fuck, that would be funny. He just throws him under the bus. Like, yeah, Kanye actually messaged me and said I should Ponzi scheme people, so I can't be held accountable. That would be my strategy if I was him. I think I would do that. Oh fuck. Oh yeah. It was funny because the strategy for this one was different with telling people like him apologizing. I thought was interesting because with Bernie Madoff, I think the story was like I think it was like the FBI caught on or whatever, and then the FBI came to his house and they were like, "Is there an innocent explanation for all this?" And he was just like, "No."
Jesus, fuck.
He's like, "No, I was scamming people. This is
Wrong
all
as
bad."
hell.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't have any explanation. This is just straight up crime. And he's like, oh, okay. And then FTX goes under, and Sam Bankman-Fried is like, sorry guys, my bad, my fuck up. And it's like, you, what? Like, you wasted like billions of dollars. You can't just say my B. That's not how this works. What the fuck?
It's just a big oops.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, dude, that should be his legal defense. His legal defense is oopsie daisies.
Now, I'll admit it was a big one.
Yeah, it was a big whoops. It was a big oopsie, but I think we're all entitled to second chances. Like, what? Now, if I could just get my $22 billion back, that would be great. Oh my god. Yeah, so, you know, that that's what's been going on. It was weird because I felt like for the past couple weeks. I was like, ooh, which one of these like subjects should I really talk about a lot? Because there's a lot of information. I want to make sure I get all of it. I was like, there's just too much. We've just waited too long to record. Like, fuck it. I just gotta breeze over everything. So there's a bunch of other funny stuff if anyone wants to go investigate any of those stories. But I only have so much time, and I've been super fucking busy with shit too. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. I think this is the first podcast I recorded on my new computer. So I'm sounding crisp right now. Every time I've been recording audio, I realize I sound a lot better on this computer, which is weird because I haven't switched out any of the recording equipment. It's the same program, it's the same microphone as before, but for some reason it just sounds nicer. I don't know why.
Is it a custom one or
Yeah,
nice?
yeah. I built my own, and it just sounds nicer. I don't know why. Just like I don't know. All right, so now that we're done with all like the big shit, we can just sort of fuck around and talk about whatever's been going on.
Sweet.
I got one more thing I wanted to say. There was some JoJo shit, JoJo related news. First off, Part 6 finally ended. Came out December 1st. I watched it all in one day again because I fucking couldn't stop myself because it was really good. And I think they did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, they cut out my favorite scene. They didn't animate it. They just went right past it because it was sort of a weird copyright thing. I assume they just didn't want to wade into it. They had to cut out the scene where they're in the back of the pickup truck and he's looking at the brochure for Disney World and Mickey Mouse is missing. And he just says, quote, "What the fuck is this? If there's no Mickey, then this shit ain't Disney."
That was from the manga?
Yes. That was in the manga, and then they didn't animate it. I was so tilted. They cut out a bunch of good, like, bits from Part 6. Unfortunately, they couldn't have Jolene, when she's playing the game of catch out in the prison yard, say, "FF, you throw like a queer." They couldn't have her do that. They couldn't have her say that, so they had to cut it out and be like, "Wow, you sure suck at throwing." Like, they had to cut that line, but I sort of expected that they would. But they couldn't even have him say, "If there's no Mickey, then this shit ain't Disney." They had to cut it out, so that sucked. But I think they did a pretty good job with the ending. The ending was pretty well executed because, like, I think Part 6 especially has a real fucking weird ending that if you do it well, it could be great, but it would be very easy for them to fuck it up. But I think they nailed it, so I was happy about that. And then the other bit of news is Part 9 got a release date. It's dropping in mid-February of next year, of 2023. So now I really need to fucking read Part 8 because I'm going to be behind now. I want to see what the fuck is going on with Part 9. So yeah, the author came out and said he's dropping it in February. I think that's when the first chapter comes out or something. So that'll be fun. So I think that's it for JoJo related stuff. Yeah, okay. Sweet.
Yeah, I fuck like TV show wise, it's so hard to find shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I got like something terrible to admit.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Like something terrible to admit that I'm excited for.
Okay.
It's I have not been hearing a whole lot about it. It's getting like a surprising lack of hype, and I think it's because nobody. Well, okay, so it's not our age demographic, but the other reason is like the few people in our age demographic that are into it probably really don't want to admit that they're into it.
Okay.
But
My Little Pony.
no,
Fuck.
nope.
Okay.
I would not touch that with a toy football, and I
Sensible.
don't really. I mean, I'm not into this either. Like, that's not hiding anything. I'm just not into it. But there's one specific detail I heard about the upcoming movie that was like, all right, even though I don't know anything about this franchise, I have to go see this movie. So my girlfriend is he's really into Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Just like she loves how like just fucking bloated and ridiculous it's gotten. Because, it's like a nostalgia thing for her. She used to play those games back when we were in, like, middle school when they
Yeah.
started coming out.
Yeah, fucking
And
circa
then,
2015 when Five Nights at Freddy's was
right,
popping.
exactly. And then she's like, she just watches, like, the fucking trailers as they come out and shit to keep up with the new stuff.
Okay.
She watches videos and whatever. But,
But does she
she told
watch
me, she's like, yeah,
game
this
theory
movie was
FNAF
announced.
lore explanations?
The movie was announced back in, like back when the games were actually popular, right? When we were in, like, middle school.
Yeah.
But they never went through with it. They're finally going through with it now. And there's two major details where I was like, all right, fuck. Even though I know nothing about this franchise, I've never touched a game. Like, I have to see this movie. Right? So, number one.
Chris Pratt's in it.
No, no,
Fuck!
better.
Damn it. Better.
Even better.
Alright.
So, number one is, I mean, obviously everybody knows the fucking premise. It's the killer fucking, like, Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah,
parody animatronics.
it's the
Yeah,
man behind the slaughter, obviously.
exactly. So, one of my biggest problems with, like, just recent movies in general is that they're just CGI circle jerks, right?
Yeah.
So CGI can be great. CGI animation in recent years has been incredible, but 9 times out of 10, when you mix live action and CGI, it looks like absolute garbage. And I'm not talking like CGI explosions and special effects. Like, that stuff looks fine. I'm talking about like full-on CGI characters
Yeah, when you have
mixed
the
with live action.
animals, yeah.
Usually looks like shit. So this movie is 100% practical effects, no CGI. They're making the animatronics, and they got the Jim Henson Corporation.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah. So I think Jim Henson's son runs it now because he's been dead for fucking decades at this point. But yeah, I mean they've still been doing a few projects over the years, and
Oh,
they
nice.
haven't
That's
released any like images yet. But it's fucking Jim Henson, so I mean I think it's gonna
yeah.
look cool as hell.
Yeah, nice, okay.
And the other thing is, they last night, and she was so excited to show me this. Last night, they released two casting choices.
Oh, no, who are they?
Now, number one, and they didn't say what characters they're playing. I don't even know what characters are in this universe. But number one is Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games movies.
Okay, I don't know who that
He
is.
was the main guy. Fucking fuck was his name? Yeah, what was the name of the guy from Hunger Games?
I don't know, the hot hunky dude
The main
one?
guy.
Or the older one?
Katniss and something.
What, is he like the guy that's supposed to be like the love interest?
Yes.
I believe his name was probably, going off of young adult fiction standards, his name was probably Chad Thundercock, would be my guess.
All right. So Chad Thundercock. He played Chad Thundercock from Hunger Games.
Okay.
Katniss and Chad Thundercock.
Okay.
Uh, the other one is Matthew Lillard.
Oh, who's Matthew Lillard?
He's live action Shaggy.
Nice. Oh my god, so that guy is kind of a veteran of doing
Yes,
live
of just
action
like campy horror
adaptations
movies.
of
Yeah,
films. Nice, okay.
just cheesy budget horror movies.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta say, on the subject of movies that just refuse to use CGI,
Yeah.
do I have a movie for you?
Okay.
Have you seen this one meme that dropped from the production of the movie Oppenheimer?
No.
It's about the guy that invented nuclear bombs.
Yeah, I've heard about the movie.
And I guess it's being directed by Christopher Nolan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he says that he
Okay.
recreated the first nuclear weapon detonation without CGI.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I just saw it in a tweet where it was like, Christopher Nolan says he recreated the first nuclear explosion without CGI for his upcoming movie Oppenheimer.
Chris, what do you do?
I don't know. I guess he's just dropping fucking nukes in real life and just filming it.
All right. Man's got to get a mushroom cloud somehow.
Exactly. Your family that's just minding their own business in New Mexico suddenly gets fucking evaporated. Sorry, Christopher Nolan he had the budget.
Yeah, covering up the deaths was in the budget.
Yeah, exactly. They just paid off the family. Or they just said, if you say anything to anyone about this, we will also drop a nuke on you. That's a pretty good threat. I wouldn't want to be hit with a nuclear bomb. But that's just me. I don't know. What does Kanye have to say about it?
Right. You always want to check with him.
Yeah, I think that would be funny if we just had a bit where it was like just have like a Kanye soundboard or something to just always disagree with the most reasonable opinions ever. Like just be like, yeah, and this, this is episode 700 with Kanye back again for the 700th episode in a row. Today we're going to be talking about racism. I don't like it. What about you, Kanye? And he's like, I love it. And I'm like, well, you heard it here first. Kanye loves the racism. I'll be like, Kanye, how do you feel about women? And he'll be like, fuck women. And I'm like, dude, I love to fuck women. And he's like, no, not in that way. And I was like, oh.
Oh, you.
Exactly. I'm like, oh.
Oh,
God
Kanye.
damn it, Kanye. Well, you rascal.
Back at it again.
He is, dude.
You little scallywag.
That is really the only way to say it is he's back at it again. Kanye's just doing Kanye things.
Bumptious little scam.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's been fucking funny. Just following the Kanye stuff has been so fun. God, him on Alex Jones is so funny. If you have time, you should watch it. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so awkward. Because Alex Jones just keeps trying to help him, and he just keeps not letting him, and he keeps making it worse for himself. It's unbelievable.
Digging his own grave.
Yeah. Yeah. He keeps being like, no, here, have a ladder. And Kanye's like, no, throw me a shovel, you dipshit. And it's like, God damn it, dude. Come on, I'm trying to help. And he's like, no. Oh my god, and I forgot the fucking funniest part. God damn it, I'm stupid. Dude, I'm more retarded than that one guy's spine. God damn it. I forgot. Kanye brought props to be on Alex Jones. He had props, yeah. Apart from the ridiculous costume he had, he also brought props.
Like, were they part of the Gimp mask theme?
No, but they were part of his...
Okay.
He doesn't like...
It wasn't like a riding crop? Or a gag?
No, it wasn't a riding crop. No, it wasn't anything sexy. It was funny, though. So... Okay, he had a bit where I guess... He sort of designed this as though he was like a prop comic, but he only brought 2 props and he only has 1 joke. Okay, so he had a bit where I think he's going to talk about, I guess it was the prime minister or the former prime minister or something, or former president of Israel. I don't remember what their leader is called. But I think he used to be in charge. I don't know if he still is. I don't know. I'm not very informed about Israel. But his name was Benjamin Netanyahu. So he has a bit about Benjamin Netanyahu, and he does this bit, and he starts saying whatever it was he was saying about him, and then he reaches under the desk and pulls out a bag, and then he takes a weird, like, butterfly net that you would have as, like, a kid, or, like, a net to, like maintain an aquarium, and then a bottle of Yoo-Hoo chocolate milk, and puts it on the table, and then he, like, holds each in one hand and starts doing a funny, like, cartoon ventriloquist puppet voice and calls him Benjamin Netanyahu. Because he has a net and a Yoo-Hoo.
Wow.
And I'm not lying about this. This is real.
That's a good one.
That's not just some shitty thing I came up with. And it becomes even funnier because he'll be like, Alex Jones will ask him a question and he'll be like, I don't know, man. Let me ask Netanyahu. And then he'll pick him up and be like, I don't know, Kanye. Like, he does a funny voice for him.
It's a recurring bit.
Yeah, he keeps doing it. No,
okay.
He keeps doing it.
He was committed to this one.
He was. Yeah, it was... Oh my god, I forgot. That's, like, the best part. You're like, this guy is clearly fucking mentally insane. Like, Jeez. This guy is completely fucked. Like, this is... What the fuck am I watching? Like, Alex Jones is sitting here and Kanye West is holding props and doing a fake cartoon like voice and saying it's Benjamin Netanyahu talking about the Jews. What the fuck? What? It is absolutely fucking insane. And it was funny because thinking about it, like it's even funnier to imagine him going and getting the props. Like, so him and his entourage for this Alex Jones interview, it was Kanye West, some guy that does like political commentary. I don't know. I've never watched him, but I've heard of him. People like he's in that weird zone where people say stuff about him and I'm like, I don't know, I've never watched him, but everyone unanimously agrees he's a scumbag, but like I've never actually heard him say any of it because he's not allowed on most platforms. But everyone's like, oh yeah, he's a white supremacist. And it's like, I can't tell if they're crying wolf or if he actually is. I can't tell.
There's no way of telling anymore.
Well, I mean, I would have to watch his videos. Like, if I watched his videos, I'm sure I could figure it out. Like, because people have said, like, oh, he's come out...
All right.
Yeah, they're like...
That's fair.
People have said, like, oh, the guy has come out and said on record, like, he's against interracial marriage. And it's like, that's kind of weird.
Open about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if that guy just says, like, yeah, I don't like whatever race of people, I'll be like, he's probably racist. But I don't know. But I'm going to assume, like, there's at least a little bit of validity to it. So it's Kanye West, this guy named Nick Fuentes, and Milo Yiannopoulos, who I don't know if you remember him, but like he was all over the internet years ago. And that's like the group of people that Kanye has surrounded himself with to go on his press tour. So just imagine the car ride over to Alex Jones's show. It's Milo Yiannopoulos, Nick Fuentes, and Kanye West. And, you know, Milo is driving the car or whatever, and they're going to Alex Jones's place, and they're running 5 minutes late. And then Kanye is like, Milo, we have to stop. We have to pull over. I need to stop at the 7-Eleven and get a bottle of chocolate milk. And he's like, Kanye, stop. We need to get to Alex Jones. He's like, no, trust me. I need it. It's going to be hilarious. And he's like, no, really, we have to, we don't want to keep him waiting. And he's like, no, I'm demanding. And then they stop at 7-Eleven, and then he buys a bottle of chocolate milk, and he's like, fuck, they don't have nets. We need to go to the aquarium store. We need to go to the pet store. And he's like, Kanye, we can't, it's back the way we came. We need to go to, and he's like, no, we need the net. Okay? The joke isn't going to make any sense if I don't have a net. And he's like, fuck. All right, fine, let's go. Let's go to the PetSmart and buy a fucking aquarium net. What's this bit anyway? What are you doing with this? And he's like, you'll see.
It's all about the build-up.
I agree.
There would be no payoff without that build-up.
I agree with that.
Kanye's master of the prop comic.
Yup. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It was close. I almost got the word comedy out.
What's up? You good?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, I don't know. I heard talking, so I just decided to pause.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah, I'm alone in here.
Oh, okay, all right, bet. Yeah, so, yeah, fucking, that car ride must have been, dude, I would have loved to have just witnessed that whole day. Like, just all three of them flying to wherever Alex Jones' fucking compound is that he films. And, like, that group of people trying to wrangle Kanye West, and Kanye West just not having it and demanding a bunch of ridiculous things. Like, guys, we have to go back home. I forgot my GIMP mask. And apparently there was some bit about, like, I don't remember how true it was, but, like, the GIMP mask may have belonged to Kim Kardashian. Like, that was her GIMP mask that he just had.
Yikes.
And, like, then he's wearing it on Alex Jones. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so if you have the time, you should go watch that video. It's so funny.
All right.
Yeah, all right. we should wrap up, I think. All right. Well, I'm gonna hope that I recorded this right and that I can separate tracks and everything. And if not, I'm gonna have to go retool my whole OBS again. So that'll be cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. This is Boys Incorporated podcast episode 40. Um. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm gonna start doing this more consistently. I said that last time, but then I got so busy with moving house and all this other shit and building my computer. So I've got all that basically taken care of now. So I might be doing solo episodes depending on how difficult it is to get people, but we'll figure it out.
The month off, so
Yeah. Oh, sick.
yeah,
Actually, you have the whole month.
yeah, until like early January. So
Nice. Okay. Sweet. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try to just bang out some recordings then.
sweet.
All right. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next episode.